Today, I want to tell you a story about a little girl. Well, she's a middle schooler, and you can't tell middle schoolers they're little girls because they freak out about that. But I want to tell you a story about Emily, who was struggling with a bully. And if you've ever had your kids struggle with bullies, I would say, check this out. Hi, I'm Brett, your favorite shrink, and welcome. Welcome back to My 5 Minds. This is where you're learning a new psychology called systemology, where it's going to help you do better, be better, and feel better. And isn't that kind of what we want? Today, I'm going to talk about my friend, my little friend, Emily. See, Emily was in not a terribly unique situation, but a situation that was bad all the same. She had a neighbor across the street that somehow they had some kind of disagreement. They had some kind of argument. And because of their disagreement, her friend got mad. And her friend started to pick on her. And her friend started to tell her things like, I don't like you. Nobody likes you. Nobody's your friend. Nah. And that obviously hurt Emily to the point where Emily just wanted to kind of crawl into a hole, just kind of disappear. And she kind of did. She stopped going to school, didn't want to go outside because she was afraid to run into her neighbor. And she kind of got lost in her own home. Well, that's when her mom got concerned and brought her in. And so Emily and I came in and we started talking, and she told me the story about what was going on. And I said, oh man, that sucks. That's terrible. How sad. But that is also the problem. See, sometimes we as parents or authorities or adults can over-support our kids. And in doing so, we disempower them. And that's what we had to look at with Emily. Because mom, being super mom, was amazing. She was all over that kid's feelings and helping her, supporting her, encouraging her, listening to her. And that was actually creating problems for Emily. Because what it was doing was reinforcing Emily's feelings. Is that crazy? So what I had to do was come in, and what I wanted to do was empower Emily. Support her, yeah. Encourage her, yeah. But more than any of that, I wanted to empower her to help her begin to take control. And the way we were going to do this was by helping her look at her thinkerator. I did a video a while back about the thinkerator. And if you haven't seen it, check it out. But the thinkerator is basically the way our brain understands things. Our brain looks at everything that's going on in our lives and it evaluates it. It looks at situations and tries to decide how important or significant is this from 1 to 10. Well, sometimes our thinkerator can get broken. Sometimes our thinkerator can miscalibrate. And that's what was happening with my girl, Emily. Her thinkerator was seeing what was going on with her friend as a 10, like the end of the world. And because she was seeing it so high, her emotional mind, Emma, the limbic system, was flooding. That flooding feelings was then reinforcing the thinkerator's thoughts. Oh, this is a 10. Oh, this is a 10. And the whole thing was becoming a feedback loop. A feedback loop that was keeping her trapped in her emotions. What we had to do, we had to take control of that thinkerator. And so Emily and I started a conversation about the thinkerator and how thinkerators work. And then I began to ask her, where do you think, if you took control of the situation, where would you put it on the thinkerator? Is it bad that she's doing what she's doing? Yeah. Could it be worse? Could her friend be physically beating her up every day? Oh yeah, that would be worse. Could her friend be constantly taunting her? Yeah, that'd be worse. Because right now she's only doing it kind of sporadically and intermittently. So that could be worse, definitely. What would happen if all of her friends, what would happen if the entire school was taunting her? Ha ha ha, nobody likes you. That would be a 10. So we started to look at what would be 10s. What would really be 10s in her Thinkerator? And then we began to dial it back. I asked her to reevaluate, to reconsider. What do you think? On a scale from 0 to 10, if it wasn't a 1, where we're dismissing and saying, suck it up, get over it, come on, toughen up, which is all old school parenting, which is what we would do, back in the day. Instead of doing that, where we're dismissing, we also don't want to over-encourage, which is kind of the problem with millennials, is what we've done. We want to help them empower themselves by finding a number or finding an evaluation, a way to see something that's more useful. Clearly, her seeing it at 10 wasn't useful. It was paralyzing her. So what would be more useful, Emily? Where would you like to see this? Where would you like to believe this circumstance is for you? She decided it was a 3, not a 10. And as she decided and began to think about it as a 3, it's upsetting, it's disturbing, it's wrong, but it's not the end of the world. She started to feel better. And then we did a practice round. And in our practice, we began visualizing, going through what was happening with her. And as we would go through what was happening, I'd have her picture in her mind and begin to see this all playing out, but to see herself okay. To see herself telling herself it's a 3. To see herself rethinking about the situation and allowing herself to be empowered with what was going on. As she did that, she felt awesome. She felt great. She felt like she could be in charge. And so when she left the session, she felt more in charge. She felt more in control. And as the story goes, Mom reported to me that Emily, from that day on, was able to go to school, do her classes, interact with her friends, and any time her friend would start to be mean to her, she'd blow her off. She'd recalibrate this, taking control again of her feelings. And that helped her be empowered with herself. Not trying to take power or control of others, but taking power and control of her own feelings. Now, if you like this video, like it. If you agree or disagree, if you want to share your stories, put them in the comments. I'd love to hear them. Please subscribe. Again, I am Brett R. Williams, your favorite shrink, and you again are watching My 5 Minds.